Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. And the title goes like, Your English problem is not grammar, it's something else. Let me repeat it one more time. Let me repeat it one more time. Repetition is always one more time. So, grammatically, it's not a correct sentence. So, I should say rather, let me repeat it. Not one more time, unnecessarily stretching the sentence. Right? So, let me repeat it. One more thing to learn. I mean, I already knew, but it was maybe not in practice. So from now onwards, I will try to keep it in my practice. That let me repeat it, and not let me repeat it one more time. Of course, a repetition is nothing but one more time happening or occurrence of something one more time only. All right. So very good lesson right in the beginning for those who didn't know about this. All right. All right. Your English problem is not grammar, it's something else. So, what is that something else? What is the problem? If English grammar is not the problem, what is the problem? See, as far as speaking is concerned, honestly speaking, having good knowledge of grammar or even no knowledge of grammar doesn't matter. I mean, of course, if your grammar is good, it is definitely gonna help you even more in forming sentences in a much better way. You'll definitely have more knowledge about the language as a subject. But as far as speaking is concerned, grammar is not going to help you. Why I'm saying this is, if you think that knowing grammar only can make you an English speaker, you are highly mistaken. Knowing English grammar or grammar of any damn language is not mandatory. It is always an add-on, a bonus, but it is never mandatory. It's never like you have to know grammar before you start speaking a language. No, in order to pass certain exams or tests or assessments related to the subject is what? English. If we are talking about English, if let's say, suppose we are talking about English, suppose not, we are talking about English, right? So to qualify certain exam or something, if it is based on grammar or tensor or any damn thing, yes, you should have got good knowledge of grammar. But as far as speaking is concerned, grammar is not at all required. I might sound strange or I might sound foolish to many people, but that's the reality. The people who speak English, who are native English speakers, did they learn any grammar before starting to speak in this language? No, never. Did we learn Hindi grammar before starting to speak Hindi, or did you learn grammar of any of your native language, any of your regional language before starting to speaking it? No. But still we speak confidently, still we speak it all day long. We have been speaking the language for years with everybody with confidence, whenever we wanted, wherever we wanted, and how much we wanted. We have been speaking this language without knowing grammar. I hardly know anything about vyakaran, Hindi vyakaran. The only words that I remember are sangya, sarvanam, visheshan, striling, pulling, these sort of topics only. I even forgot what they mean, to be very honest. Even in English grammar also, I barely have some level of understanding related to English grammar, but still I'm speaking this language. Did I learn any grammar in order to speak this language? Yes, I went through some of the basics, maybe initially, some of the basics, and those basics were, to be very honest, almost similar or maybe exactly same as what I was taught in my school time. So it was the same grammar that I was taught or I learned in order to start speaking this language. It simply means that even if you consider grammar to be an important aspect, so that much amount of grammar is something that you have already learned in school. But still, are you able to speak in this language? No. I'm talking about those who don't speak, who can't speak right now. I'm not talking about everybody. And there may be so many people of who are able to speak, but you guys are very less confident. You guys are like, man, I can speak, but I can't speak even for a minute. Maybe I can't say anything in front of few people. I can't give any presentation in English. I have some sort of knowledge of English and whatnot. Maybe I can speak with myself, a bit of English, but whenever it comes to speaking with anybody else in the outside world, or whenever I have to uh, speak in English with my colleagues, let's say, not just colleagues, but to my maybe bosses, or to my clients or customers, that's where I freeze. I just can't speak in this language. I'm talking about those people. So you guys already know grammar. You guys must be knowing way better grammar than most of the English speakers. But if if grammar, and I should put it in this way, had grammar been the most important aspect, or probably a kind of spine sort of aspect or factor of speaking a language, rarely you would see very less number of people speaking English or any other language, because grammar is not at all required for speaking. Grammar can definitely refine your language up to some good extent. It can definitely make your language appear and sound more accurate and more professional and formal, but it is not the most important thing, or not even a very important thing. It is just an add-on, just a bonus sort of thing. All the native speakers, they hardly know any grammar. And even if the people who know grammar, they didn't learn grammar for their English enhancement. They never learned it to speak English. Like we didn't learn Hindi grammar just to speak Hindi. We were already been speaking Hindi when we were absolute child, when we were very small, when we didn't even know what Hindi Vyakaran was or grammar was. When we were very small, we were not even introduced in our schools uh, with that grammar thing, but still we were speaking confidently, we were speaking with anybody and everybody. So grammar is not important. I'm repeating, I know I repeated it multiple times, but why I'm repeating is because it should go in our head. I barely know anything about English grammar, to be very honest, but it doesn't stop me from speaking this language. I am speaking. I know I'm not a good English speaker, but I am kind of fair enough. I can at least convey what I want to convey. I can at least make others understand of what I want to say, or what I want to make them understand about. And this is the amount of English, at least, which you guys also want. Many of you, I mean, any of you guys must be having way better English than me. It's completely fine. You might have been in some better environment, or you might have been practicing this language in a much either better way, or since a long time or a longer time than me. It's completely fine, whatever the factor may be. But I have seen most of the people being very good English speakers and not knowing grammar very much, or maybe not even at all, because it is not just important, it is not important in the first place. That's the main thing. And if you think grammar only can make you speak in this language, what happens to most of the people is that they try to, they start to put those grammar rules, and they start to do this translation sort of thing, conversion sort of thing, and they start to put the grammar rules and everything before speaking anything out of their mouth, just to be grammatically correct and sound perfect and whatnot. And in doing this, they take a lot of time, still they make mistakes, and they tend to forget the main topic or the main thing they are talking about. And that's how good conversations don't happen, or don't last, at least, or don't sustain, because instead of focusing on the main topic, we are just focusing on the grammar rules. Oh, it should have been, not could have been, or it should be had been and not has been, and it should be like this or that. We are doing these calculations only in our head, rather than focusing on what exactly we want to say. Native speakers also make a lot of grammatical mistakes. Does that bother them? No. Does it bother the other person, whoever in a conversation with them? No. I'm making a lot of mistakes. I know. Even while speaking, I know that I'm making a lot of mistakes. That's completely fine. I used to be so cautious about my mistakes earlier, but as you know, uh, I grew and grew in this language realm. I got to realize, and when I observed others as well, the other English speakers as well, that even they are making mistakes. I mean, it was very easy for me to figure out many mistakes in their English, and even now also, I'm. Uh, uh, but now I have reduced it. But still, now I'm even now also, I pick out mistakes of others' English, but that doesn't bother them. They just continue to go on and on and on, and that this is exactly what I also learned from them, that even if I'm making mistakes, I should not bother about that much. But I should bother about is whether I'm able to speak fluently or not, whether I'm able to speak continuously or not, whether I'm making sense or not, whether I'm able to convey what I want to convey or not, whether the other person is able to understand me or not, or whether I am able to understand the other person or not. That is the most important thing. That's what the languages were made for communication, to understand each other well, to understand what the other person wants, what the other person needs, what the other person wants to say. That's what the languages were made for. And if we are able to fulfill this thing, I think we are a good communicator. We have got a good language. But again, sky is the limit. You can get better and better and better. You can get better each and every single day. You can strive to get better each and every single day. And there is nothing bad in this. Everybody has the right to get better and better. And I'm not stopping anybody, because I am also a kind of person who just tries to get better and better in any damn thing, at least the things that we like and we give so much importance to. But if you think grammar is the problem, no, grammar is not the problem. The problem is that you are not practicing well. You are not consuming English. You are not listening to English, and you are not speaking. You're trying to be perfect. You're continuously trying to consider others' English to be way better than yours. Their confidence is better, not their English. And their English might be better. Everybody, you might find the best of the speakers, and you can still find many people who have got way better English than them, right? And you can again find, let's say there is a child, right? Let's say there is a child from an English speaking country. That child has a very limited vocabulary and very limited phrases, and whatever related to whatever knowledge related to languages, it is very limited in his head, his or her head. I'm not gender biased, but they're speaking confidently because they're not comparing their language with the other person's language, their English with the other person's language. What happens with us guys is, and it happens with me also, earlier it used to happen more, but now it happens a bit lesser. With time, I think it will be faded away completely, and I of course want it to be completely disappeared. That we tend, especially, I can talk about Indians, most of the Indians, not every Indian, of course, especially who are in this learning journey. What we guys do is we tend to compare our English with the other person. Oh man, he's speaking very good. He's speaking with very, good amount of confidence. Oh, my English is not that good. Whether I'll be able to speak like him or not, or like her or not, maybe I cannot. And this is exactly where we start to lose our confidence, when we start comparing. But we don't compare our language, our Hindi or whatever your regional language is. We don't compare our first language with the other person's language skills. We don't do it, but in English we do it. That is another problem that I've observed. We tend to compare that, oh, his English is good, but we never say, oh, his Hindi is better. We listen to a lot of people speaking Hindi, but we never compare, almost never compare. But as soon as we hear somebody speaking English, we quickly jump into this comparison field. That, oh, this person sounds better. This person is speaking better English. Oh, this person is speaking worse English than me. I'm better than him, or he's better than me, or she is better than me. Whatever. This is something that we have to chuck out of the window, chuck out of this game. Just listen to the language as much as you can and speak the language as much as you can. That's how we are going to build confidence, and that's how we are our mind is going to think more and more and more in this language. And the more our mind can think easily in a particular language, the easier it will be for us to speak in that particular language, right? And I guess I'm already almost 15 minutes into this video, and now I will have to take a leave. If you guys want to have a conversation with me, the links are in the description and in the pinned comment. You guys can have a speaking conversation, a practice sort of thing with me, and you can book a slot. It's a very cheap very less amount of money that you'll have to pay. And I think that much amount of money can be afforded by anybody who is even a bit serious about his or her improvement. And I definitely have got a lot of things to share, how I did things in my life, how I improved, because I was someone whose English was absolutely zero. As far as spoken English was concerned, I was absolutely zero. I couldn't frame even a single sentence, to be very honest, in English. And from there, how I got here without going into grammar or tense or any damn thing. Right. So I can definitely, but of course, I talk about all these things in my videos also. So, but it's just a one-on-one conversation. If you want to have a conversation with me, my first language is Hindi. मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ. So just for the clarity. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.